is
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Thank you. I needed some assistance and I've got some. Let me show you this real quick like that. See this cat? He was pawing this. He's trying to get his treats too. Look. Yes, this one. Yes, to try to get... Look what he did with my Bible notes I've been doing and keeping. Got me a notebook going. Yeah. So he's clawing at my stuff. That proves he is evil. He's been clawing at God's word. Yeah. So I can say I've done my homework, Mom. That. Anywho, I tried getting on earlier this morning, and I didn't want to rush it. I had an 8 o'clock mammogram appointment. What a way to start your day, right? Then I had to take Miss Becca to the orthopedic, and if you didn't see my Facebook page, Facebook page, she wound up getting a cast. She's going to be in for 2 weeks with the boot. Wait as she can tolerate it. Hopefully they'll let her stay at work. Now, she won't call her boss. He said it depended on each individual employer. So, but he was free, he was fine with her, whatever. Anywho, so thank you to all y'all for your prayers for her and that. Ooh, it's been a tough road, y'all. If she has to stay home 2 weeks, she might wind up more than the broken leg. I'm joking. She's actually been pleasant. It's been good. But yeah, she can't be home 2 weeks. No. Now the boy, on the other hand, I might have to worry about going ahead and killing him. Putting him out of all our misery. Right, Samuel?
Right.
There's Fat Man. Fat Man, you got anything you want to say?
Hey, everybody.
Do what you always do, because I always forget.
Hey, remember, hit those buttons. Subscribe to Big Mama and Fat Man.
Well, it's gotten to where there's hardly any Fat Man.
Oh.
Well,
Fat Man's making a living,
I'm showing Pat why we call him Fat Man. Who? Can you be my production assistant?
What you need, honey?
Light.
Okay.
He's my, what do you call those people? Gophers. What are the ones called that do the lighting and all in movies? You're my gopher. Go for this and go for that.
I'm always a gopher.
Hey, hon.
Hey, hon.
I would say, how's your mom and them? We gotta go see his mama Sunday. She will turn 91. Her birthday is the day after mine. She'll be 91. Ooh. All right. Okay. Proverbs 23, shall we? I don't even know where we're supposed to be technically. My mind took a hiatus. Yeah. Proverbs 23. That's hey, how y'all doing? Okay. Proverbs 23. The main verse I got out of this one, well, I'm going to wait and do that here in a minute. I got several verses marked. And I wish I would have used a different pen. I used a gold pen today. And you can't really... I guess it does pick up. These, in a way, Proverbs 23 is going to be kind of like the start of... Some people call them your 7 deadly sins. This one's going to be gluttony and greed, you will find. 23, 1 through 3. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies. Oh, wait. I skipped a step. I was going to say, what? I missed it. Consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. It's a warning to exercise restraint when confronted with the luxuries of a wealthy ruler who seeks to lure you into his schemes and intrigues. Okay? Daniel is a classic illustration of one who lived by this proverb, refusing the allurements of the pagan monarch, which he knew could corrupt him. And Daniel 1:8, the king told Daniel of, eat, feast. And Daniel's like, no, thank you. And he went and ate his little bread and water. Exercise restraint. This gets into like bribery, of consider carefully what is before you. Put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies. Now here they are talking about food, but can also be, what do you call it? I mean, they're talking about food, but it could also be construed of material, I was going to say treasure. Yeah, we're pirates. No, seriously. It could be material things. It could be power. Be careful who you sit with as far as, them promising you a position, or them promising you, of a promotion. So that's 1 through 3. That, 4, do not overwork to be rich, because of your own understanding cease. That tells you, if you work and just, you're so busy working, trying to, climb that corporate ladder, you might lose sight of what's truly important. You might lose sight of your family. You might lose sight of, it's you become so filled with power and greed, you step on the little man. And that's rather than wearing one's self out pursuing wealth, pursue the wisdom of God and what glorifies him, and he will bless you with prosperity as he chooses. So I like how that one was put. That's for 4 and 5. Another one that caught my eye, 6 through 8. Do not eat the bread of a miser, nor desire his delicacies. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. The morsel you have eaten you will vomit up, and waste your pleasant words. These aren't very good picturesque verses. I mean, first we're talking about put a knife to your throat, and now we're going to talk about vomiting it up. But what wisdom they have for us. They're, they're parables. They're sorry. There's another one about greed. And the way my study Bible has it, the miser, this is the greedy one, who to be rich hoards his riches, withholding from the poor and needy to keep and increase his own wealth. He invites someone to enjoy his courtesies, feigning generously, while really being schemingly hypocritical, as his real goal is to take advantage in some way to increase his own wealth at his guest expense. You can come in. Brian's excited. Tell him why you're excited.
89 days until the cruise. No one else is excited like me. 89 days. Less than 100, less than a 90. 89. Back to your past stuff.
He's flustered that we aren't jumping up and down. I'm too tired to jump up and down. Batman's too tired. It's too hot. We have to work.
I just think the sun's getting to me is all.
Yeah, exactly. We hit another, what was it, 110 index? We're under heat advisory. Like at 10 o'clock this morning, it was already 100 degrees. Yeah. Anywho, the miser. And this was the first thing that popped in my mind this morning when I read this. The greedy one who, to be rich, hoards his wealth, withholding from the poor and needy, to keep and increase his own wealth. First thing I thought of, Marie Antoinette. When we were homeschooling and we got to talking about Marie Antoinette, during her reign, she is the one that made the comment of, here all the people of the kingdom, they were starving to death. I mean, starving slapped to death. And she's having all of these fine parties and the bakers, and they're cooking and everything. And all they're wanting is just simple loaves of bread. Simple loaves of bread. Okay? And she is just spending extravagantly. They could not have bread. And she was the one that made the comment, oh, let them hush, let them eat cake. Now, cake wasn't the sustenance they were looking for. You know, here's someone thinking that, oh, okay, you could have some cake. That is what you would, What?
No, you didn't hear it when I opened the door. I went,
Oh, it's cooking outside.
yes, it is.
But yeah, that was who I thought of whenever I read about the miser. That and the, Scrooge from A Christmas Carol. The old miser. That popped into my mind. Let's see. I like 12. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. And then my verse that I truly picked for my study verse is 17. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. For surely, and I'm going to go ahead and read 18. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. And this fear, remember, we're not talking about the fear of the magnifying glass, God. We're talking about respect. Do not let your heart envy sinners. In other words, don't think of you got to keep up with the Joneses and, oh, you know, I like their new car. Wonder how they got that. Maybe they're the miser. You don't know. Maybe he's working himself to the bone. He's got so much going into overtime that he can't give God any time. I'm just using that as an example. But do not let your heart envy sinners. Don't get jealous. Envy is jealousy. It's another 7 sins. So you got greed, gluttony, envy. But be zealous, not jealous, but zealous. Be on fire for the fear of the Lord all the day. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. So, and these are just my notes. It's easy to be tempted to sin, even more so when we put ourselves in the direct path of temptation. Here in this world, to be of this world, we're put in that line of temptation every day. We wake up to it, we go to bed with it. All throughout the day, we are in the path of temptation. We are warned we need to be double guarded in these moments. What can we do? What are some ways that we can guard ourselves against the temptation of... Lord knows I need to hear this one, y'all. Gluttony. Yeah. This is where you get into them all-you-can-eat buffets. And yeah. In all seriousness, gluttony. But what are some ways we can guard ourselves? And I've got some little notes here. And I've got keep our heart... If I can read where the cat tore up. Keep our heart guarded at home by reading God's Word daily. Even though we're in this world and we're bombarded by the world, how are we going to fight off temptation if we don't have our sword? And remember, this is our weapon against temptation and sin. So we've got to read it daily. And I'm saying this for me. Okay? We've got to read it daily in order to... if you need it more than once a day, this is where having your verse written on your memorization card... Oh, my purse is over there. I've got a cute little set of like little flashcards that are on a ring-bound thing I got at Walmart. And I just have jotted different verses from the Bible down, whether it be for anxiety or depression or fear or pain, whatever it be. And I keep it in my purse. And so if we're out and about, or I have a moment, like while we're waiting in the doctor's office or something, I can jot it down. Or if I come across a poignant quote, and I've got put verse on a card to memorize or to remind you of your sin temptation. I put that one, I used to in our old house. I had the do everything without anger. or complaint, so that it may be done for the joy of the Lord. And it was Colossians. Oh, don't tell me I forgot it. 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians, what was it? He ain't listening. Anywho, it was above my wash machine because I would always catch myself complaining about doing the laundry. And I came across that verse, and I thought, Lord, forgive me for doing this, that the work that you have chosen me to do. How grateful that I am that I'm able to stay home with my family. And Lord, look at the poor woman that probably has to tote her laundry for miles to do it, at a riverbank. She's not complaining. She probably is praying every day, just let me make it home safely. Don't let me get snake bitten or piranha bitten or raped by the villagers, or, here I am complaining because I got to throw it in the Maytag. Woe is me. Yeah. So I had put that above my washer. So if you have to put those verse cards around, or like our weekly verse, tape it on a card, put it there at your kitchen sink. I used to would have post-it notes that I would put on the bathroom sink. My Palm Pilot, I'll write a verse on my hand. Even my infusion nurse, I had to go yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. I went yesterday and I'm going tomorrow. So that's why I'm just kind of dragging. But she asked me yesterday, what's on your Palm Pilot today? And so if you don't have my verse on there, even she will, call me out on it. Where's your verse? So those are some, that's one way. Keep God's word with you. Keep it at hand. Keep it on a card and handy, because you can't lug your Bible around with y'all at all times. But to keep you at your sin points, if it's complaining at doing the dishes, keep a verse there at the sink. If a particular person causes you to sin, and this one got me. And I am still working on this. And y'all know who I speak. If it is a particular person that causes you to sin, A, stay away from that person as much as possible. If you've done everything you could if they're just a bad person, stay away from them. They're toxic. God does not call us to be in toxic relationships. God told Lot and them to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. That was a toxic area. He was just going to wipe out the whole thing. And the angels, gave them safe passage. Lot's wife got greedy and looked back. We know what happened to her. So if it's a particular person causing you to sin, get away from that person. But also, it could be a you problem, not a them problem. If it's, and the only way I could think of this one, we have a woman at church, and I'm sure Carol Beth has mentioned her. I know I've mentioned her. And this is where it's a me problem. She comes to church, or we'll catch ourselves. I'm so sorry. I'm talking a lot, so it's... She doesn't even do anything to me personally, okay? This is where I'm talking about it's a me problem. Tell me if you have anybody in your life like this. I'm going to put that there. Let's see, wait a minute. Tell me if you have anybody in your life like this. that you find yourself, well, I just can't wait to see what they bring in today. Were they sinning or were you sinning? Can you believe she did that? Yeah. If you find, and I'm going to get into that one here in a minute. Yeah, that leads into number 3. If you have a group of ladies that you can have as faith partners, but be careful not to let it turn into a hen pet group. Been there, done this one too. You start out and it's supposed to be a ladies' circle meeting, and next thing you know, y'all are talking about the women that ain't there. Or you're talking, can you believe I heard, you ain't gonna believe what she did at the Walmart. Or can you believe she had the nerve to sit there Sunday and say that? And we used to have the running joke, but this is in all seriousness, of, well, it ain't gossip if it happens in the Bible circle. No, it's still gossip. Yep, it's still gossip. God doesn't look highly on that. Who's sinning, them or you? Well, they probably were, but that's their business between them and God. But now I'm sinning with my tongue, and I'm going to have to deal with God. Okay? We're talking about, what, if we're in the direct path of temptation, if we've got that person or people, what can we do as ourselves? I need to guard my tongue. I don't need to worry about them. They got their own answer to, that's between them and God. This, I'm going to have to answer for this. I'm going to have to answer for this. And I'm going to have to answer for this. Even if I don't say it, if I think it, or if I feel it in my heart. Sometimes it's what we feel here and here that's going to get us in more trouble than what we utter out of our lips. Okay? Because sometimes we're careful to guard your tongue. You don't come out and say all the things you want to say, but you thought it. And doesn't God tell us that thinking it's just as bad as doing it? We've been warned. Thinking it's just as bad as doing it. I have more notes for that one. I guess not. Okay. My fingers. This cat he has done a number. Look at that. Little turkey. See where he tore up my notes. But those are some ways that we can safely guard ourselves. When it all cut and dried comes down to it, when we get to heaven, we aren't going to be able to say, well, you see, when God asks us, okay, why did you do so and so? Well, you see, they ain't there. No, they ain't got nothing to do with why you did what you did. Why did you think that? We're all told that when God looks at the Lamb's Book of Life, we're going to have to be held accountable for the things that we've done. It's Judgment Day, literally, judge. He is going to judge us for our actions, even though we've been forgiven of our sins through Jesus' blood, we're still going to have actions that God's going to be calling us out on. Of even the good stuff of, when I get to heaven, I want to be so out of breath for doing and working for the Lord. And I want to hear those words of, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." That's what I want to hear. I'm praying I don't have the, okay, on, why were you gossiping about? And it can even be, you don't want to be left out. Oh, this is one thing I got into about my little hen peck sessions. Tell me if you've ever caught yourself doing this. You're with a bunch of your girlfriends or lady friends or Bible study friends, and y'all are done with the meeting or whatever, or getting ready to talk about business, and then you said in, well, Susie Smith down at the end is, well, you ain't gonna believe what my husband did. He ain't hit a lick all week of doing nothing. He just been sitting there in that house. I gotta take my hair down, starting to drive me crazy. He's just been sitting there in that house and he ain't done a thing. Well, then Miss Lolly next to her, well, that ain't nothing. George ain't done nothing. You ought to see what I've been after him all week of cleaning off that porch. He ain't done nothing with that yet. Y'all know where I'm going with this. And then Joanne's gonna put in her 2 cents. Well, mine beats all y'all's. He ain't done nothing in 3 weeks. Or that broke shelf has been sitting there. Well, by the time it gets around the table, it's almost like you're competing on who has the laziest or worst. It's almost like it's, well, I get more wife credits because I got to deal with this one, or I got to deal with that one. See where I'm going? Even though you might not have anything to gripe or complain about, you feel left out. So you're going to chime in too. Well, Fat Man hadn't done so-and-so. Okay? Well, the next thing you know, Susie's going to call Joanne. What, can you believe what Stacy said about Fat Man? Come Sunday at church, let me tell you what she did. Or the men are going to be talking. You know what that man did? And it has done exploded. It could have been a little comment about, well, Fat Man was a little late taking out the trash. To by the time it gets to Sunday, Fat Man's a hoarder, and we have got nothing but garbage stretched from one end of our house to. That's what the rumor mill is. Where in fact, it was because he didn't take out one garbage bag. Because that's the only thing I could come up with. Because I didn't want to be left out of the infect session. Now who's the sinner now? Have you ever caught yourself in those moments? And I think that's what it meant by, we are surrounded by temptation every day, whether it be food. Look at all the commercials we have. Look at how convenient and easy, and we can supersize you. Yeah, you can supersize me, McDonald's. Thank you. Appreciate that. But that's my gluttony and greed. to the I don't want to be left out. I want to have conversation with my friends. Well, my friends aren't going to be the one that I have to answer to each day. Yeah, just because my friends are complaining about their husbands doesn't mean I got to throw mine under the bus. Bless his heart, look at him. Him snowing. Look at his mouth. He's so sweet. He worked so hard today. Uh-oh. Where am I? He worked so hard today. He got too hot. We're just going to let him sleep. I love Batman so. You know, maybe be that person. Be that person. If you hear... if you hear a bunch of... or if you're in that situation... be the one to turn the tide. Be the one to turn the tide. Don't complain. Have something to rejoice about. You know, if they're all complaining about their husband did that and the other, either be the direct approach, well, kind of the direct, indirect approach. Okay, ladies, I'm glad we were able to have this fellowship moment. Now we need to get down to business if it's like a lady circle or whatever. Or you could do it well, you know, and not brag. Don't brag about it, but somehow or another maybe, well, I think we should just all be blessed that we have the husbands that we do, that they're still here. You know, think about all those that have lost their husbands. You know, maybe do it that way. The reason why I would say don't brag, you don't want to be the, well, my husband is just absolutely wonderful. He does everything. You know, you wouldn't want to do it that way. That would be a braggart. And that's sin too. We're going to get into that one in another chapter. Like I said, these chapters coming up are going to be dealing with pride, gluttony, jealousy. We're getting there. We're getting there. So, but yeah, that's for today. That's all I got, basically. Becca's doctor's appointment, they did put her cast on. I don't know, did I say that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Gluttony as far as food goes is one I need to work on. I need to work on several of those. Like I said, I had several that kind of hit home with reggae. Okay, Lord, thanks for pointing that one out. Like I said, I think we can all glean something from the Proverbs. And, you know, you've heard it before. There are 31 Proverbs and there are 31 days. And it's a good thing to kind of go over and over. Because each season of life, whether you've got little ones, you're going to glean something different from it. Whether you have teenagers, you're going to get something else out of it. If you're at the stage of life like me and Fat Man, where, you know, we've got grown children, where I'm getting something different out of it now. I'm getting where it's speaking more to me as a wife, instead of complaining about my kids per se. And that's another one too, you know. Do you complain to your friends about the kids? You know. So kind of guard yourself. There's that temptation all around us. And so kind of guard your heart and guard your mouth. Guard your tongue. Yeah. Guard your heart and guard your thoughts. Okay? And I will see y'all. Praying I can stay awake and we can do this again tomorrow. I've got another treatment tomorrow. So, yes, we're hanging in there. Yeah. Somebody asked me, was it today? Oh, I had my mammogram today. She asked me if I was doing okay, and I'm like, is a frog's butt watertight? And she looked at me and she got laughing, and I'm like, see, made you laugh. I've done my job for the day. And she's like, well, you have a good day. I'm like, you too. So I'm trying to approach days like that. If I could make that my job, make one person laugh, then I gotta be in good humor and good mood. So if you're trying to make somebody laugh, you can't complain. There you go. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Put on your pearls, put on that smile. I had my bow on, but I had to take it down. So I was taking a nap when that man got home. And he was so sweet and didn't wake me up. He let me sleep. So that's why I'm going to be sweet and let him sleep. He got too hot today. Brian did too. So, pray for everybody working out in this heat. Good gravy to Annie's. Alright, we'll see y'all again.